All right, this is a follow-up video to Don't Upgrade Ultron. So we're going to call this Don't Upgrade Ultron 2. Joined with me today is Reminex. What's up, my guy, Reminex?
What's going on, bud? It's a good day.
Okay, so we're going to go over some very important things today. We're going to talk about why you should not upgrade Ultron, which you should, but you shouldn't. But we're going to explain why it's important to save those resources for key 6 characters to go through Dark Dimension 3. Then we're going to go through and talk about the key T4s needed to finish that team. And then we're going to talk about who to take through the second time around, or what to do when you actually get through Dark Dimension 3. So what do you think about all this?
I think it's probably one of the most important things I should have done, and I know I was slowed significantly by not doing it the right way.
Yes, and you're getting this video solely because of the pure pain that I'm personally going through right now, and I'm going to explain that in detail. Before we do that, let's go a quick word from our sponsor. Want to be the hero of your own fantasy? Enter the epic world of Teleria, where dark elves meet the Sacred Order and the Banner Lords are in an endless war with the undead heroes. Collect, equip, train, and upgrade your team of heroes in order to start a journey of a lifetime. Raid Shadow Legends will take you to the world of dark fantasy and realism, and Raid is free to play and is available on both mobile and PC. Logging in every day when you start playing is very important. You get to do more and progress faster. Raid has a couple of new player programs that give really cool rewards simply for logging in. If you collect them all, you'll get a pretty sweet boost to your account. Don't forget progress missions. It's not just a source of rewards, they also guide new players and help them adapt. The main priority when you start is to try and play as far as you can through the campaign. If you get stuck and can't beat a level, it's usually because of one of two things. Either you need to level up your champions or you need to upgrade your artifacts. Every 3 days, an exciting tournament takes place in Raid Shadow Legends. Take part in the tournaments and claim your well-deserved rewards. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you'll get 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 1 energy refill, and 1 free champions, the Adjudicator. All of this treasure will be waiting for you here, but hurry! These rewards will be available only for the next 30 days and only for new players. If you need advice, you are not alone. Subscribe to the guide on the Teleria world and find the whole truth about Raid Shadow Legends. Link is in the description. Good luck, and I'll see you there. Here we are. Okay, we're back. And I gotta get excited about that Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get into what the crux of this whole video about is. Don't upgrade Ultron, right? And I'll tell you what's happened to me is I got stuck inside of the cosmic nodes because I did not have Minn-Erva up and running, and then I'm now currently stuck inside of the city nodes because I do not have Carnage unlocked. And what happens when I finish Dark Dimension 3?
You're going to get a ton of mats for G14 and other units.
Okay, so this
completed pieces and just the actual material.
Okay, so this is the crux. I am short thousands of SBCs. Mostly that's what I'm short of. Short thousands of SBCs, and at one point I had 6,000-7,000 of those saved up, and they are gone because almost a lot of the important characters need like 1,100. Yes, there's a couple that need 500. But it's crazy, right? How SBCs, are you still having an SBC shortage yourself?
No, and I've upgraded most of my roster to G14.
Okay, yes.
So
the point is finish Dark Dimension 3, then you can do whatever you want. And I think what happened, and we're just going to blaze through this because we did talk about this in another video, is that when we look at Dark Dimension 3, we saw this fantastic chart right here, and we were under the idea that we needed to take 5 characters into Global and 5 characters into Cosmic and 5 characters in City. But the reality was we needed 14 characters to enter Dark Dimension 3. And then from there on, we could go into nodes with like 1 character or 2 characters or 3 characters. And it turns out that there's really 6 characters that pretty much help you finish the whole thing. And if you don't do these characters, it doesn't matter if you had the pieces to upgrade Punisher. It doesn't matter if you had the pieces to upgrade, Shield Medic or Shield Troop. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's really the gate is these 6 characters, right? So talk about each one of these 6 characters, and why you should not upgrade Ultron is quite simple. Upgrade Minn-Erva first. Make sure you have enough SBCs allocated for these 6 characters. Then do whatever you want. You know, there's nothing wrong with Ultron, but it's just like, if you don't do Minn-Erva first, you're going to be screwed. So talk about each one of these characters and why they just blast through the game modes.
Well, see, Phoenix is that one-trick pony where she dies, comes back, and is able to do the 20% drain with the right T4. And that's the idea, is you have to put that T4 into her special. But, you know, obviously even with one support, which is probably going to be mutant, because that's going to be the least drawn from mini unique. But even then, you want to make sure you're planning ahead, so you don't take away too many of your resources, so you're not ready for the other areas.
So more or less, the first 8 nodes of Dark Dimension 3 are you know, Phoenix is going to be doing, what did you say, 80% of the damage?
Oh yeah, she does about 2.4 million on most of the nodes just from her special.
And the beauty about Phoenix is that she dies, and then she goes into Dark Phoenix, and Dark Phoenix abilities are not on cooldown, unlike every other character this game mode. And you immediately go into this Vitality Drain, and that does, what you said, on average 2.4 million damage. And that specific T4 and that specific ability is going to count for 80 to 90% of your damage into Dark Dimension 3. So at the end of the day, if you don't have Phoenix, Dark Dimension 3 is a waste of time. And my suggestion is, you know, other than the characters that you needed to get through to get Ultron unlocked, you know, you really should not upgrade and spend any of your orange pieces. Stop at level 12 and save them. If you're not going to take a character to 14, do not take them above 12. Do not spend any orange materials, period, ever, unless the character is flagged to go to 14. And we're saying explicitly, these 6 first, then do whatever you want. That's pretty much, don't upgrade Ultron. You know, that's the whole.
That's the idea. It's
okay.
Just you know, we don't want people to not think that Ultron's a bad character.
No.
It's just that what he does in this specific mode isn't going to do what you need him to do.
Yeah, and you basically can run through with Phoenix, and you know, once you have the resources allocated to these 6 characters, you're going to do your favorite characters that you use for U7 and Arena, and a lot of these are those characters. So we're just going to go through the essential T4s and the vital 6 characters for Dark Dimension 3. Let's start off with Hela. Talk about Hela for a minute.
So I love her ult because you're going to be able to spread additional debuffs. More importantly, it's a damage increase, and it's pretty significant. So the only other one I probably recommend specifically for DD3, and it's a question mark, I use it for raids, is her special. And the reason why I like her special is because you get the extra 2 turns of disrupt, and you can spread that disrupt. And that might be the difference between getting stuck behind a strife or another unit that's tanking.
So people ask me this question all the time, like what T4 should I put on Hela? And it's like ultimate first. I did passive second. Third, I did the special, which, yes, because then you could spread the disrupt, right? And then I did her basic last. But at the end of the day, I did all 4. Did you do all 4 on Hela?
No.
Which ones did you do?
I did the ult, the special, and I did the passive last. The passive is Greg.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the day, you did everything but the basic. So that's perfectly fine. And the reason why she's so important in Dark Dimension 3 is because of the summon Undead Asgardian, which we refer to in the community as Greg. Explain why Greg is so important specifically in Dark Dimension 3.
Well, first, he's a damage soaker, so he's going to be targeted because he's the lowest hit points. That's what the AI is built. The second reason is he also is a turn meter rewind, so that's going to give you a turn advantage. So it's so huge that the AI prefers him and also will likely give you a turn meter rewind. And by the way, it's a very common strategy for DD3 to try to get a second Greg by resurrecting Hela with Minn-Erva. And we'll talk about that later.
So when Greg takes a hit and he does not target your other character, that's like a free character. And sometimes 2-3 times in a row, he'll get targeted. And then the strategy that we're talking about is there's situations where Hela dies first and Minn-Erva revives in order of death. So whatever character dies first, she revives them first. And so Hela dies, the Greg lives, Minn-Erva revives Hela, and then Hela brings in a second Asgardian, a second Greg, and you've got a double Greg situation. It's quite amazing, right?
Yeah, it's actually one of the tricks. A lot of the people who've done the higher,
Well,
and great trick.
Yeah, there's a lot of try-hard mechanics in Dark Dimension 3. I mean, if you're willing to sit there and hit refresh and back out, I wish I had more patience. Oftentimes I stream, I go through 1 or 2 runs, and I'm done with it. But if I was like, I just don't think people want to sit for an hour until I get the perfect run where Symbiote Spider-Man dodges 6 times in a row and you clear the whole node. But that's what people are doing sometimes, is they're waiting for that situation where Hela, the Greg, the undead Asgardian, is getting targeted 5 times in a row, and that's the run they keep. Anyways, Symbiote Spider-Man. Now, the reason why I want to go berserk over about this, like, I think the tendency is for people to upgrade Black Bolt. The tendency is for people to upgrade Yo-Yo. The tendency is for people to upgrade Invisible Woman. But I'm going to tell you, those are not helpful necessarily in Dark Dimension 3. And if you finish Dark Dimension 3, you're going to have plenty of resources to upgrade those guys. Talk about why Symbiote Spider-Man is more legendary than most of the legendary characters at this time.
Well, he was a milestone character, so he really had kind of that extra benefit, like Captain Marvel. But realistically, he just has that extra drain mechanic, and the drain mechanic and all of his abilities are worthy of T4s.
Yep.
Which is the thing about it; they're worthy of T4s.
So
honestly,
go.
Yeah. So if you were going to prioritize them, I would do Web Slam, the Symbiote Slinger, because you get the extra 2 turns of slow, the extra 2 turns of D down, and then Perfect Host for the extra health, and then the Slingshot to extend the buff. But they're so close that obviously after you do the ult, the rest are kind of up to you.
Yeah, I think I did the basic first, just because the 2-turn defense down seemed quite amazing. The passive is okay. You know what I mean? You definitely get more max health, which is important, but he heals himself up. And that's the reason why he's so important, is because of this specific mechanic on his passive, which is designed specifically for Dark Dimension, basically where he's healing in. And the reason why you want to save all of these bio pieces and focus on is because Carnage and Venom pretty much require the exact same things. And my suggestion is to avoid all bio characters at all costs and only work on Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage. They're going to be useful in U7 anyways. You're going to use them every single day. You might as well do them first, because then when you finish Dark Dimension 3, you can go through and get all this stuff. So, yeah, I did all the T4s on Symbiote Spider-Man. I love this guy. Darth Spidey, boy. I think symbiotes are just a couple symbiotes away from being broken. I mean, the 3 of them together are almost broken right now. Wouldn't you agree?
They're already broken now.
Yeah.
They're already broken now.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like Fox Next has to delay. I mean, even adding a symbiote that does nothing other than like Squirrel Girl's middle ability where they cleanse. Maybe what if it just generic symbiote cleanses heal block. No, I mean, they would just break the team. It would almost break the team. Something that simple. You know what I mean? Just like generic symbiote, no stats. Right?
Yeah. It's not like Squirrel Girl's not doing that now. Just saying.
Yeah, well, and it looks like Squirrel Girl is going to be vital. Anyways, let's move on to the next vital character for Dark Dimension 3. We talked about Phoenix. Ebony Maw. Now, a lot of people don't have Ebony Maw, but Ebony Maw is quite good, and max health damage is quite good, and that is on his ultimate right here, which I actually was able to get through the city nodes without Ebony Maw. I was able to do it with Minn-Erva. They're very similar, right?
Yeah, so the cosmic nodes, they're very, very similar. The idea behind this is it actually makes it a lot easier and gives you a chance to make mistakes.
Okay.
The combination of the speed down, the slows, the offense down, there are a lot of the tools that help you kind of push farther and faster.
There are people that are going like one-shotting a lot of these nodes just because of Ebony Maw and Minn-Erva, right?
100%.
Okay, so force transfer. Now, this guy's used everywhere, and so you can see that I've done 3 out of the 4. It seems to me that the basic is good in PvP because you need to target people down and burst them down. Insidious Whisper and Force Transfusion just seemed like no-brainers, in my opinion. What T4s did you do?
Yeah, so I did the ult first. The ult first is the extra the speed bar manipulation, and then you also get the specifically because I'm using him in DD3 and in U7.
U7.
Insidious Whip is an extra 2 turns of defense up.
Okay, and then this is just because in It's an extra attack, and it seems like most of the time when you're on offense in like arena, you end up using the basic first anyways, or I don't know. There's all kinds of things that a lot of buffs are already there. But anyhow, the only one that's lackluster in my opinion is going to be his passive. Carnage. Boy, and this is the reason why I'm making the video, is that I'm frustrated in Dark Dimension 3 because I do not have the pieces, and I wasted the pieces on amazing characters, but I wasted the pieces on Black Bolt, Invisible Woman, Yo-Yo, which are good characters, but they did not help me finish Dark Dimension 3. And if I had saved those pieces and put them on Carnage, I would be done right now, and we would be not making this video. Carnage is amazing in U7 as well. I'm using him now every day in U7. I'm missing a T4. Which T4 am I missing? Well, first of all, this is vital. Like, this is the no-brainer T4 of the year, right?
This is one of the most important when you're talking about symbiotes. It's probably either number 1 or number 2.
Yes.
That speed bonus is huge. So basically getting that additional speed when a character drops below 25% health. And remember, you get to choose that too.
Yep.
So remember, that's another piece of the puzzle.
And it's great paired up with Black Bolt, where he usually finishes them off, which you know, and then he could just stand there and ping characters and do nothing. And they just get a turn meter train and they just run around circles, and Black Bolt's standing there just being extra DPS for nothing. It's great in raids. And Minn-Erva's extra healing for free. It's great. Anyways, basic attack is probably the most important one too. That's the next T4 that I'm going to do. Talk about this one here because it basically boosts the damage quite a bit. And you end up, I don't even use these other two abilities. Slaughter I only use when there's like nothing to do, and Carnage is if there's no negative effects, but I end up using Cleave like 90% of the time, right?
Yeah, you're going to be spamming the basic. The idea is spreading those debuffs are going to be what gets them the extra health. So those are the ideas from the team. It's just a basic mechanic manipulation, and because that's going to be what you're using as a primary mechanic, it's extra damage, period.
All right, and this I use if there's no negative effects out, and I need to get some negative effects out, right? And then the only time this is actually, it looks good on paper. I never use it. It's if there's no negative effects and there's like a clump of people, and this is gone, and then I can just kind of hit everybody, but it doesn't. I actually don't want to get rid of those negative effects. And I end up doing this if there's a negative effect. So it's kind of a strange kit.
The slaughter for me is like if I want a big heal and I don't have to worry about the speed bar. So if you know, I use that for a big heal if I need to top them off.
Okay. And then lastly, let's go on. Well, not lastly, but Minn-Erva. Now, here's the thing. Minn-Erva is pretty much vital for Dark Dimension 2 and 3. And I want to say, so we have this rule, like don't stop at 12. Don't waste any orange characters. The only exception might be is if you have like a character like Star-Lord that you want to take to 13 to help Minn-Erva in Dark Dimension 2, but most people aren't taking Star-Lord into Dark Dimension 3. That might be the only exception to the rule that I could think of is Star-Lord, you know, right?
And more importantly, if you have access to these characters at some point, before you do DD2, you're going to use them anyway.
All of these characters are good in Dark Dimension 2, by the way. Yeah, so basically, and the beauty of Minn-Erva is that she's not really gold or red star dependent necessarily, or she's kit based. It's all about her kit. There you go. Yeah. This is one of the biggest gifts they gave to the game. Almost, I wonder if it was intentional or not. It seems like it's almost like accidental the way that this turned out, right?
Certainly up for debate.
Yeah. Okay. So those 6 characters now. Second run. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish up Dark Dimension 3 someday when I finish up my Carnage, whatever. It's going to take forever. And then I'm going to put and then you said that I'm going to get about 6 or 7 characters worth of resources once I finish it the first time.
Yeah, it's random, so it's about 6 or 7. But I will tell you that if you're going to prioritize something, just make sure you add Venom to that list, and then everything, and then and then it's just about enhancing the other teams that you have.
Okay, So for me, I thank you for bringing that up. I wasn't thinking about Venom. What I was thinking is I was going to go just finish my Black Order Arena team up. Just finish it off. Yeah. And then, then what other characters are quasi useful inside of Dark Dimension 3? You mentioned Venom. I want to personally say that I finally kind of felt like Colossus was useful. Well, what other suggestions do you have that are of quasi useful characters in Dark Dimension 3 outside of this initial 6?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Proxima is actually a phenomenal character.
Okay.
So I don't recommend her necessarily if especially with the SBCs that you're going to be lacking, and superior basic catalysts, those orange materials that are on everything again. But she actually did pretty well for me in Cosmic, and even on other nodes, Venom we said, and then I think if you don't have Sinister or Colossus, you want to consider one or both of those.
Yes.
To help you get through Global. Obviously, that's something that's kind of up to you. They use mutant catalysts, so you'll probably have the mutant pieces.
Yeah, I've gotten so much use out of Colossus, so much use. Anyways,
and then I mean, that might be the consideration is, what do you use every day? For your raid team, your arena team, that's going to be the decision you make. Or you could wait and to see what you feel like you need to get through for your second run.
In conclusion, never do Shield Trooper, never do Shield Medic. Ultron he's kit based mostly, so I don't know if he really benefits necessarily from. I mean, Ultron's summon a lot of bots and delete people and get positive effects, right? He's just a positive effect machine. But I don't even know if he needs the 14. I still use him and I've benefited from it, but I don't know if he really needs it, right?
So the thing about it is I can click that button. I have all the pieces for him. I can just click the button and I haven't done it yet.
Okay. I do get use out of him because he's my Black Order counter, right? He is my Black Order counter. And he's an amazing character, but he doesn't get all the benefit from he got that single ability where he's hitting into defense down hopefully and getting double damage, whatever, and that's about it. And other than that, he's just summoning a lot of bots. And then one thing I wanted to bring up before we go is please go over to our friends at msf.gg, and it's not loading up right here, but you can see how many of these pieces are required. And the piece that is going to be horrifically horrible is going to be this superior basic catalyst right above Remenek's head. And this is just Ebony Maw. And if you look at going between 12 and 13, so I hit 12, you can see that he needs, where is it? I can't see it on my screen. 360 to go from 12 to 13, and then go from 13 to 14 to 780. Please understand that at the most, characters need 1,140, and at a minimum, they're 500 and something. But on average, it's 1,000 per character. And if you have 6,000 SBCs, they need to be allocated to those 6 characters that we identified early. And if you don't have then you stop. I mean, if you have 10,000, that means you have 4 extra characters to play with, and the pieces better not conflict with those other 6. You better have duplicates or something like that. Please finish those 6 first, I beg you. And then you'll have as many resources. And this may be a repeat of that other video, but it's so important. I'm pissed off every day on stream when it comes to Dark Dimension 3. You've seen me, right? You see me just like, I hate this game mode. It's because I'm screwed because of poor choices I made early in the game.
Do you see the leaderboard, the number 5 player?
Oh, is that you?
The time completion. I don't know. I mean, it could be somebody we know.
It could somebody you know? Okay. Where am I looking? The leaderboard?
Leaderboard, the time leaderboard.
Oh, you cleared it already? My goodness. Oh my God, where's the leaderboard? I can't even find the leaderboard. Leaderboard. Oh boy, look at Remenek's number 3. My goodness.
No. That's just go to the timed run. You got to click on the leaderboard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there you go. I don't see you.
I'm number 7.
Oh, insane. There you are. There you go. Wow. Yeah, 4 days. Boy, that's interesting. Okay. So in short, be sure to work on these 6 characters first. I wouldn't do anything until you have the resources set aside for these 6. And then once that, you can go and do your favorite Black Bolt, Ultron, anything you want, really. We would suggest going Black Order, maybe Venom, Colossus, Mr. Sinister, whatever. Black.
The next one you're going to definitely do, make sure you make room for Venom. The 3 symbiotes alone can solo the last 2 nodes.
Yeah, and I think that the symbiotes is going to be the future of the game one way or another if they add any more to the game. I mean, literally, they could put in a generic symbiote that does nothing other than clear heal block, and it would be broken. Just literally just a stat beast, no kit, just generic symbiote, clear heal block, and then it would be broken.
What are you gonna do after? What are you gonna do after your second run? What are you gonna upgrade after your second run?
I'm actually gonna wait. I think that whatever the next stage of this game is, or whatever the next arena, my primary focus in upgrading characters is 1 arena, 2 U7, and 3. I sometimes war, but I'm not going to be 14ing characters for war. It's just, I mean, some people do, but unless let's say PvP, not the balanced one, but OG PvP becomes some sort of amazing rewards tied to it, then then I'm gonna have to start looking into characters like Taskmaster, taking him to 14, or because there's some key broken characters that are good in PvP, but there's no reason to upgrade them today, specifically if it's balanced, or that's all they're good at. Like Taskmaster is good on defense and war, but if the rewards become tied to PvP outside of balanced, then there's going to be places to put characters. But I probably will finish off Black Order and Venom and be done, and just sit on all the pieces until the next best thing comes out. That's the Black Order killers, if you will.
And the next best part about it is I'll do it so you don't have to. I've already started taking up way too much of my roster to the next level.
Yeah. All right, guys, head over to Reminick's channel. He does mostly on YouTube, or mostly on Twitch, but he's also here on YouTube. So I'm going to put both of those there in the description. Anything you want to say before we go? Because we do have a giveaway.
Oh, yeah, that's it's the bathwater.
Yes.
What do we
no, you got to let me do it. I got to do it. I really hope you like this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Reminick's bathwater. And this all ties in with Squirrel Girl. This is not a scam. It's not a scam. Aren't you guys excited about this?
Why do you say that? Because what did you say is in the water?
Bathwater. I don't know. Nuts. I don't know. Something.
Oh, gee. All right, that works for me.
Nut juice. I don't know. All right, guys, head over to Reminick's channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming. Be sure to subscribe if you want to catch more. And bye for now.